Sis is going in.
That their peers at school have way more power than you do as a parent. Them kids at school have way more influence over your child than you do as a parent. First, let me start by saying that I am one of those parents that are heavily and deeply involved in my kids' lives. Like, I'm nosy as hell. That's how I find shit out all the time.
Okay.
Because you're not just going to be living your life around here as a kid and think I'm not going to be all up in your shit.
I love it.
Newsflash, I'm about to be.
I love
So
it.
if you are a parent and you have a child between the ages of 9 years old and 12 years
Any
old,
age.
I'm talking about they're in that transition period for where they're going to be coming out of elementary school soon and transitioning into being a middle schooler. Middle schooler.
Take your time.
You need to listen to everything that I'm about to say in this video. And obviously this applies to people who have older children as well, and even younger children. It depends on your level of exposure for your children, because, you know, I can't fathom for the life of me why people overexpose their kids unnecessarily. But listen, this is what I'm dealing with now by the way of other people's children. I have been that mother that has been I have not a very strict mother, but I am a mother that is going to talk to my children, give them the real deal, prepare them, take preventative measures. I'm going to be heavily involved. I'm going to make sure that my kids have the tools and the knowledge to think for themselves outside of circumstances. But at the end of the day, they're still children, so they get heavily influenced very easily.
That part. Let's just pause. Hey, y'all, real quick. If you're here, you're family. I call it Team Green-Ellis. So I want you to join Team Green-Ellis below. It's completely free. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, and that thumbs up so you can stay in the loop with all things Team Green-Ellis. All right, let's get back into the video. Is there anything that's needed to say here? Like, she's 1,000% correct. In and of itself, in the first minute and 30 seconds, she's dropping bars, y'all. Because, I mean, statistically, they spend more time at school, you know, given, you know, your children are in a traditional school setting. They spend more time there statistically. They're spending however many hours in school, right? And you have them for however many hours you have them, you know, in the evening, and then they're asleep. So probability will tell you that their greatest influences are going to be coming from outside of the house. Come on, y'all. Let's listen. Let's listen to. This is Nicole Swanson, spitting hot fire. Shout out to you, Nicole. You're killing it.
The amount of children in this tablet that just having sexual conversations is so sad.
Yeah.
And I'm at a space to where I want to just pick up the phone and be like, put your mama on the phone. But you know, what's sadder about this entire thing is you don't even know what kind of response a parent is going to give you. Because some of them are so trifling that they'll catch an attitude with you because you're trying to call them and tell them something about their child. All I'm going to say.
Real quick, what you going to do if somebody mama call you as a parent, right? Your child's friend, their parent calls you and lets you know that your child is doing something. How are you going to respond?
If your child got one of these here, a tablet, a phone, a computer, an iCloud address for somebody to call or text, and
email,
you're not doing a deep dive in those conversations, you f***ing yourself up and them kids up. Because when I tell you my daughter ain't had this here almost a month, she not getting it back. She's not getting it back because the conversations that these kids were having in this tablet with my child, I was blown the away. She just turned 11 years old. She just turned 11. And some of these kids in this chat, 9 and 10 years old. It's about 15 to 20 kids that's been calling her and messaging her. But because other people's kids are overexposed to way beyond their age group, overexposed to conversations, sitting up listening to their parents gossip, sitting up listening to their parents talk about shit, sitting up listening to their parents music and all kind of shit. And I know some of y'all gonna be like, okay, well, they shouldn't be having a phone or a tablet anyway.
If you want to watch the rest of her response, there's still about 2 minutes left. Y'all, Mama Bear is not playing with y'all passive parents, and she shouldn't be. And best believe, I stand with this woman. And any parent, advocate, coach, teacher, whatever, any individual that takes this stance, because I'm not having it. Not in my house. personally speaking. Now, professionally speaking, kind of the theme that we've been talking about for the past few weeks, y'all. This idea of exposure is something that we've got to pay close attention to. We got to pay close attention to what our babies are being exposed to, because what they're exposed to, they take in, they take on. It becomes their mindset. It becomes their eventual tendencies and their capabilities and the way that they think. It makes them who they are. What they're exposed to, it makes them who they are. Your experiences and your exposure, or in other words, what you're learning, whether it be intentionally, whether it be unintentionally, whatever you're learning, whatever you're exposed to is what you're going to take in and what you will eventually become. I want to make this direct quote. I just had a thought. It's by the Honorable Orator, Abolitionist, Frederick Douglass. He says, it's easier. Hold on. I'm going to get it, y'all. It's easier to build strong children or strong boys than it is to repair broken men or women. It's easier to build them up than to have to repair them. Do you want to know why repairing needs to be done? You guessed it, man. I just want you to fill in the blank there. I think that it is to your advantage to take action, right? Just as Nicole did for her baby. Parents, I want you to take action like Nicole did. Don't think because your baby boy got some hair on his chin, or baby girl want to wear makeup and all of that stuff now, they getting a little grown, they can do for themselves, they got a little job. Don't think like this is the time to relax. I'm not telling you to be a tyrant. I'm not telling you to be a dictator. I'm not telling you any of those things. I am telling you to stand in your place as a parent. They ain't grown. I know they think they are. I know they talk like they are. But they're not. This is the time to buckle down even more. This is the time to buckle down even more. Don't think that you have to have had a perfect history in order to have tough conversations or candid conversations with your kids. You're the parent. No, you cannot listen to this music in my house. That's the way that it is. Everyone needs parameters. Do you know what happens to adults that don't have parameters? Do you know what happens to adults who cannot follow rules? That's a skill that ought to be developed, that needs to be developed, rather, I should say. Parents, I don't want you to be passive about this. I want to empower you. Do exactly what Miss Mama Bear did. Miss Nicole Swanson did. Give me that tablet, bro. Give me that 360. Give me that PS whatever, that video game. I don't know what they play now. Give me that phone. What? Y'all, shout out to Charles Ellis. I don't know if you know who that is, but I know who he is very well. That's my daddy. My father was so savage, y'all. Whenever he wanted, like when we got older, it wasn't a whole lot of application of the rod, if you understand. It wasn't a whole lot of that. And I was a really good kid for the most part. I didn't really get in trouble too much. But whenever I did, especially when I was older, my father would say, put the phone on the table and you better not touch it. Put the phone on the table. Yup. And I got to walk by it every time I pass the kitchen. Every time I walk to the family room. Yup. And you better not touch it. Parents, let's go, man. Let's go. It's our responsibility. Don't pass the buck. Don't talk about this world and how bad it is. The world been bad. Oh, it's been stacked against you. Stop making excuses. Put some parameters around your kids' ability to do and say whatever. Come on, y'all. Come on. If we don't take on this responsibility, then we cannot expect anyone else. I think that that's part of the problem, y'all. Ain't nobody coming to save us. We got to save us. It starts with you in your home. Take them tablets away. Your kids aren't disciplined enough to do it themselves. Don't expect them to. We can't expect them to be able to make rational adult decisions. I don't know, man. What do you think? How would you have handled this if your child were participating in an inappropriate conversation, I don't care what the age is. If they're your child, they living in your house, inappropriate. I don't care if they grown. It's your house. Come. All right. How would you have handled the situation? How would you have handled the situation, man? Let me know in the comments if something like this happened to you. Just reading a quick comment. This is Jessica Jones says, I teach 5th grade and you're 100% right. I agree. We have to start controlling what's influencing our kids.